Oh, sorry. No, it is. There we go. There we go. No sound. I got you. All right. The kid was sick, and he's probably going to call me again. And instead of just ending the show like we just did there, which I don't think is the best way to do it, I've created this fantastic little graphic so that when the kid does call me, instead of ending the show, it'll just be treated like a commercial break. Just do whatever you got to do. And instead of ending the stream altogether, we'll just go dark and kill them. The mic is back on, and we'll just do that until the kid comes back. Okay, I think that's the probably the better way to do it. So, all right. Oh man, I lost everybody. I hope you people come back. I am so sorry. We lost everybody. Well, we got rainy days. Rainy days is here, and I appreciate that. Okay, so we were just and I do expect the kid to call me again because I stopped the stream. I called him, talked to him for a little bit. Then I said, let me talk to mom. And I had to talk to mom for a little bit and then hung up with mom and then called the kid back. And he's not answering now. He's like he's got he's got a stomach thing. Okay. So we're concerned without giving out all the details, but he's in good hands. Mom is there. She's got it. She's working from home. So it's a better situation than a lot of people would have. So I'm very blessed for that. All right. So what were we talking about? We were talking about the death of Demaryius Thomas. A bunch of people died today. All of them are trending. Mike Nesmith, Demaryius Thomas. But also we got one last one, and then we'll get off the everybody's dying bit that we're on today, because that just seems like some bad mojo. One of my people are always shocked at my affinity and love for IndyCar racing. Because I'm not a big NASCAR guy, and I'm not a big car guy. Like I can't tell you about car engines and all that kind of stuff. But my uncle was involved in IndyCar racing. He was every aspect of it. Now, later in life, he became a very well-known creator of the winningest car in IMSA GTP history. He built the Nissan number 83 GTP car. It was a red, white, and blue car, number 83, driven by Jeff Brabham and Chip Robinson. And who else drove that car for a while? I don't know. But it won more races in the IMSA GTP circuit than any other car. So when I was a little kid, when I was growing up, watching the Indy 500 and watching that kind of auto racing wasn't just something that I watched. I always watched to see if I could find my uncle. The pits, before you could pause, you couldn't pause and look. You have to go, there he is. He's right there. He's right there in the pits. So I became, as a child, a very big fan of IndyCar racing. And one of my all-time favorite IndyCar drivers died today. That's Al Unser, dead at the age of 82. Al Unser was a beast, man. He is, of course, of the Unser family, one of the first families of auto racing in America. His brother, Bobby, is just a legend in his own right. His brother, Jerry, tragically died at Indy back in, I don't know, I want to say like the 1950s. Al Unser, of course, the father of another iconic racer, Al Unser Jr., best known to racing fans as Little Al. How many did he win? How many Al Unser? I think he won 4, maybe. No, yeah, because that's the Mears and AJ. I loved AJ Foyt too. Boy, you want to talk about a mean old cuss. I loved AJ. Al Unser died. Yeah, he's a great story about Al Unser. And we'll move on from this. 82 years old, lived a good ride for a race car driver. 82 years old, boy, that guy. So here's a cool story about Al Unser. He was getting up in age in the late 80s. I'm not even sure what year this was, but he had driven for Roger Penske and the Penske team for a number of years. And at some point in the late 80s, he didn't have a ride. It was like the first time in like 20 years that Al Unser didn't have a ride at Indy. And people were like, well, how can you have an Indy without Al Unser? And then in practice, Danny Ungaro, who was a driver who had taken his spot with the Penske team, Danny Ungaro crashed during trials. And the car was out. Well, he was out, the cars, obviously. And Roger Penske did not have a driver for the number 3 car. And it was a good car. It was, if you're familiar with cars back then, it was a Cosworth engine with a March design. So it was a March car. And back then, the March cars were like the car. If you're a car guy, then you know what I'm talking. These are the only car guy things that I know. I know about 80s and 90s Indy 500 cars, but it was a very nice ride. And although it was the third car in the Penske stable that day, and third cars typically aren't expected to perform as well as the first or second car, but on a moment's notice, Al Unser stepped into that third Penske racing car and he won the Indy 500 that year, stepping in for Danny Ungaro, who had been hurt just days prior. He had no time to practice. I mean, he just jumped. He was just a beast. Al Unser just got behind the wheel of his old pal, Roger Penske's number 3 car, and he won the Indy 500 that year. I think that was maybe 89, maybe 80. It was out of high school, so it was probably 89, maybe 88. I'm not sure. But there you go. Three big deaths today. Demaryius Thomas, a wonderful guy, football player, Denver Broncos. Mike Nesmith, the monkey, and Al Unser, one of the great American race car drivers of all time, dead today. Also in sports, really quick, Tyrod Taylor has been benched down there in Houston. Davis Mills is going to be the new starting quarterback for the foreseeable future. We covered the Bob Dole funeral. He's trending as well. Jerome. The name Jerome is trending today. Why is the name Jerome trending today? Because apparently it's been revealed that Tom and Jerry, Tom and Jerry, the cartoon, Jerry's full name is Jerome Jerry Mouse. And for some reason, people are going nuts about that. They did not realize that maybe there was a more formal version of Jerry. I would have bet it was Gerald, but turns out that it is Jerome. Never liked Tom and Jerry. Whenever the Tom and Jerry cartoons came on, didn't like them. Didn't think that they were, you know why? No talking. No talkie in the Tom and Jerry cartoons. It's all just music and like slapstick. And also, I couldn't support a cartoon that was based around such an incompetent cat. That are you telling me in all the years that cat could never... Yeah, I'm the guy that was rooting for Tom every time. Jerry being too cute, acting like he's... And like, I also rooted for Sylvester. I thought one day Sylvester's gonna get Tweety. And that's why Jerry is trending. Jerome is trending. Jussie is trending. Jussie Smollett. We don't need to recap this. We talked about it all week. We discussed it last night on Pillow Talk. Jussie Smollett has been convicted on 5 of 6 counts. 6th count that he was not convicted of was aggravated assault. And the difference between aggravated in this context has to do with a mask. If the assailant was wearing a mask, suddenly it becomes aggravated. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but somehow. So that's the one that he wasn't convicted of. He told a detective that the guy was wearing a mask, and then as it turns out, they couldn't prove that the guy had a mask. As a matter of fact, it didn't look at all like the guy. The 2 Osundario brothers, who he now officially paid to perpetrate this hoax, this race hate crime hoax, anti-gay hoax. They couldn't prove that he was wearing a mask, and it didn't look in any of the pictures like he was wearing a mask. So Jussie just made that one up too, and they were like, okay, we're going to drop the aggravated one. Okay, so here we go. So I've got to do this really quick. So we'll do this. Give me a little break here. All right, and we're back. Apparently the kid's sick. Apparently he's really sick. It is now confirmed he is sick. He's got a temperature, and so we'll be monitoring that situation. Okay, where were we? We were talking about Jussie Smollett, I guess. I'm sick. The kid is sick. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. What else are we going to do? All right. We got a whole bunch of things. This is a bad show, folks. I am sorry. I'm out here all by myself. I'm not feeling well. I've got the allergy things going down. A bunch of people are dying. So far, that's all we've talked about. Jussie Smollett, he's an SOB. He completely just trashed his career because he's a jerk, and that's good. What else do we have? All right, trending. Air Marshal is trending today. We're going to run through these things. I don't know that we're going to do a full show. I apologize. I hope you understand. There's a bunch of stuff going on right now. Let's see here. What could we do? Let's see here. Air Marshal is trending. Why is Air Marshal trending? Well, because people can't seem to behave themselves on airplanes anymore. This is a real problem. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's, this doesn't seem to be a mask situation here. This seems to be just a drunk guy acting like an a-hole. He assaulted a stewardess and flight attendant. He attacked a flight attendant, and then he fought an air marshal, and the air marshal finally put him in twist tie cuffs. You know, he was the plane had to make an emergency landing. It was going from Washington D.C. to Los Angeles. This guy got on the plane in Washington D.C. Oh, and now I've completely lost my place here. Train wreck of a show. Oh my God, if you're tuning in for the first time, you just got to be believing that this is the worst thing that's ever been done. And I do apologize for that. He was going from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles. The plane made an emergency landing in Oklahoma City where federal marshals were there waiting for this jerk off. They took him off the plane. He spent the night in jail. It appears that he was just drunk. It appears, and I'm telling you, with this bad behavior that we're seeing now on airplanes, and it is more than ever. Maybe it's not more than ever, but maybe we're just seeing it more because it only gets reported when there's good video to go with it. And everybody's whipping out the phones now, and everybody is getting video of this stuff. Should we watch the video? Why not, right? Let's watch the video here of this guy acting like a complete jerk bait.
You don't got it. You don't got it.
There you go. You can hear him. You don't got it. He's screaming. He's angry. So let's watch it. Here is the guy on the plane that forced the Delta flight to make an emergency landing. Oh, what? Now I got to go to Instagram. Is this working? Oh my God. I'm so sad. Jamie Lynn on Instagram. What the hell is that? I do apologize for all this nonsense. Okay. No, that's not what I want. Oh, maybe I do. Maybe that is what I want. Okay, what is this? Jeez.
Oh, got it.
All right, that's not sharing. So we got to share it this way. I think. Okay.
You don't got it.
All right, here we go. I apologize. This is what happens when you're sick, folks. I'm watching the numbers drop as I fumble my way through this nonsense. All right, here you go.
You don't got it.
There he is.
You don't got it. Down right now. I'm asking you to sit the fuck down. Sit down now. Sit down now. I've had out enough of you.
This dirtbag.
Don't get up.
Can't behave yourself on a plane. They're going to ban alcohol on these flights.
Sit down. So I'm the only problem with this plane.
Yeah, you're the only problem on this plane, asshole.
I'm explaining this really easy for you. If you don't sit down right now, you're going to spend the rest of this flight in handcuffs. You know what I'm saying to you? No, sit down, put your seatbelt on. If you get up again, you're going to spend the rest of the flight.
Oh, there he goes. He's not taking direction well.
Sit down.
Again, this is a flight from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles that occurred last night. They had to make an emergency landing in Oklahoma City because of this guy. This drunk ass can't behave himself in civilized society. It doesn't appear to be a mask thing. A lot of these altercations that we've been seeing occur about people refusing to wear masks. This just seems to be a drunk idiot. And we got video, so we get to watch these things now, just like we're in row 15C.
That's the whole thing. You're fighting for no people. Stop sitting there and watching.
Yeah, everybody's sitting there watching because you're acting like a jerk off on an airplane, dude. Y'all just sitting here watching. Yeah, they are. They're just sitting there watching because you're an idiot. So that's why air marshals are trending right now today. Olivia Rodrigo, one of the most Googled artists of 2021, is trending today. Trending because apparently she's got some concerts that are coming on, and fans are all upset because they can't seem to get tickets. Apparently her tickets are flying off the shelves, as they say. Did I mention Netflix has canceled Cowboy Bebop? Cowboy Bebop is trending for that very reason. Do I want to get into this? Okay, let's see. Let's visit the chat room here for a moment. Jeff Glenn says, you might remember in the great HBO series The Wire, Police Lieutenant Bunny Colvin creates a safe space for drug users to buy, sell, and use drugs in order to reduce those crimes in other parts of the city. Those that frequent this area dubbed it Hamsterdam. Well, New York City is considering creating its own version of Hamsterdam. The idea has strong support, with the only question being, where is the best? Okay, this doesn't have anything to do. I love you, Jeff. This doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. And apparently, Jeff doesn't listen to this show because a week ago we talked about this very situation in New York City when it was breaking. That's right. We do the breaking news here. Jeff, that's old news. We covered it. And I even described, for those of you who listen regularly, you know what I described. I talked exactly about Amsterdam. Appreciate you, Jeff. Appreciate you. That's a DM though, my man. That's you DM me that. And I go, thanks for listening every day. You're apparently not. Jeff Glenn, I thought, was one of the great supporters of the show. Apparently he missed that particular episode. See, there's a whole bunch of stuff here that is going to take a whole lot out of me to talk about. So I don't know that I want to get into it. Peloton is trending. Why is Peloton is trending with, how do I do this? Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. That's how you do it. Spoiler alert, folks. If you are intending to watch the very first episode of the Sex and the City reboot, yeah, okay, so here I'll do this. We'll just do this. This will be another one. I should use these more. All right, here we go. If you are intending to watch the Sex and... There you go. If you are intending to watch the Sex in the City sequel series, and so it goes, or whatever the hell it's called, I don't know. I'm not getting there. I'm trying to watch Sex in the City. I had a big beat down yesterday because I had some hot takes on that show that apparently didn't go over well with the chat room, and so I promised that I would revisit it and I would recheck it out, and I'm in the process of doing that. And since I'm probably going to be sick this weekend with these sinuses, I'm going to watch a whole bunch of them. However, the new HBO Max series, which is the sequel to it, is trending today, and I'm about to give you a spoiler. So as long as you see the spoiler alert banner up underneath me, you might want to mute. You might want to go dark. You might not want to hear this. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Walk away if you are about to watch the new series, because I'm going to spoiler alert something that happens in the first episode. However, it's trending, so there doesn't seem to be much concern among the masses on Twitter and Google about, spoiler alerts. But here you go, the spoiler alert. Peloton is trending because apparently the company Peloton takes a big hit in the first episode when Mr. Big who was played by Chris Noth in the series. He's like the guy, I don't know, I'm only 4 episodes in. I know he's in it throughout the whole series, but in the first couple episodes, he's just, they're just almost started dating. It's not like a big thing yet. Mr. Big apparently suffers a grabber and dies right there in the first episode of the new Sex and the City sequel show. And he dies on a Peloton. After doing a big workout on a Peloton, he drops dead, and Peloton doesn't like this. Mr. Big is trending because of it, and Peloton is trending because of that. Peloton has actually issued a statement today explaining what their position on Mr. Big dying from riding a Peloton bike. Here's what Peloton says. Mr. Big lived what many would call an extravagant lifestyle, including cocktails, cigars, and big steaks, and was at serious risk as he had a previous cardiac event in season 6. These lifestyle choices, and perhaps even his family history, which often is a significant factor, were the likely causes of his death. Riding his Peloton bike may have even helped delay this inevitable cardiac event. There you go. That's why it's trending. That's why Mr. Big dies riding a Peloton, and Peloton is a little bit upset about the way their product was depicted in the first episode of this new Sex and the City sequel. And now we will move on, and welcome back. All right, spoiler alert is gone. That's actually a good, I can do that now from now on. Whenever I have something that may even dally into the area of a spoiler alert, excuse me, I can do that. I'll put that up, and then you people will know. If you don't want to hear it, you've been given fair warning. Okay, so we've got 2 things trending side by side, and it seems to be a battle between the asshole class. What is trending side by side? Ellen Page is trending side by side with Elliot Page. Now, Ellen Page, well, it's a dead name. Forgive me, but I'm just covering the story. Ellen Page is the former name of the actor Elliot Page, who transitioned and is now, okay, Elliot, I'm sorry, I'm going to try and word. I'm a fan of Elliot Page. I am a big Umbrella Academy fan. I have concerns about how the character of Vanya, who is a female violinist with superpowers, how that character is going to continue now that the actor portraying the character is now a male, transitioned into a male. It used to be played by the actress, actor, I guess we're all just calling them actors now. Used to be the character of Vanya in Umbrella Academy used to be portrayed by Ellen Page, but Ellen Page, that is a dead name. She is now Elliot Page, and I'm not a dick, so I'm going to respect that, and I will whatever. But I am, as an Umbrella Academy fan, I'm like, okay, how's this going to work? I'll tune in and find out, I guess. But why are both names trending? Well, because the one group of asshole class has decided that they want to make Ellen Page trend because, it'll piss off people on the other side. And whatever, there doesn't seem to be any reason behind the name Ellen Page trending other than to just be a jerk about the fact that it's he, right? It's not they. I'm so confused. I'm like 50. I'm trying to do this the right way. So it's not they, is it? No, it's he. It's he. It's he. Elliot Page is a he. So he considers the former name Ellen Page a dead name, and so that's the one asshole class that is making Ellen Page trend just to irritate the other asshole class who is demanding that anyone who trends or anyone who hashtags Ellen Page, the dead name, be banned from Twitter. It's okay. It's good. It's a dead name. It is a dead name, and that is just awful. Look, there are a lot of awful people on Twitter, and I just don't think this is why I say it's the 2 versions of the same asshole class of individual. You're gonna try because you can't take it because someone's being a dick. People are dicks. People just walk away from it. Don't let them get to you. If you are a person who is offended that some jerk is trying to get Ellen Page trending, the proper response is not to go all fascist and demand that they be. There are people wishing death on the people who are hashtagging Ellen. Death? Are you crazy? Are you a lunatic? This is a social misstep, and it's certainly being done on purpose. There is no denying that the people who are trying to make Ellen Page trend today are being assholes. But your response, you don't meet assholery with more assholery. So that's why these two names are trending. Just a bunch of jerks out there. Just go, ugh, that's a jerky thing to do, and move on. I bet you that's what Elliot Page is doing. Although I don't know. I really don't know what the person's like in real life. I don't know. Julian Assange is also trending today. Julian Assange, of course. Do you remember what? I completely forgot that this guy was even a thing. Julian Assange, WikiLeaks. This was a big story years ago. What he did was WikiLeaks made public some video of United States military doing some bad things. They killed a bunch of Reuters reporters. They opened fire from a helicopter on a group of people that were standing below, and the group of people were made up of some reporters, some people who were there covering the scene, and they killed them all, and the government denied having any involvement, and then WikiLeaks had the video from the helicopter showing the incident. They made it public. It was very embarrassing. And then during the 2016, was it the 2016 election cycle, WikiLeaks also released a whole bunch of super embarrassing top secret memos that our State Department, the United States State Department, had compiled about just little fun facts and information, not good stuff, like embarrassing shit, bad stuff that the United States government had compiled about world leaders. This was also very, very embarrassing. He was deemed by the United States to be a spy, and he was in possession and publishing top secret documents. So the United States government wants Julian Assange put in jail. They want to extradite him to America, put him on trial, and lock him away forever for the crime of telling the world that America has funny nicknames for the leaders of China and, all of that kind of stuff. Embarrassing shit, sure. But the argument for Julian Assange is that he's a journalist and he's exposing how duplicitous and how shitty our government is, our deep state, if you will. And I don't know, is that a shock to anybody? I mean, I just figure that goes on. I just walk through life pretty much blind to it all and just pretend like, well, that's business as usual. So what happened with Julian Assange? Well, he started globetrotting. He started hiding out places. He was seeking asylum anywhere that would have him because the United States government was trying to get him back into the country for years, like 6 years. He was living in the Ecuadorian embassy in London, where he would never leave. He stayed in there. Ecuador had made a deal with him that he could live there. And because it's an embassy, it's sovereign ground, the United States government couldn't come in there and arrest him. And the British government couldn't come in there and arrest him because embassies, in no matter what country that they are located in, embassies are considered sovereign ground of that nation. So, if you commit a crime inside the doorway of the Italian embassy in New York City or wherever, maybe a consulate in Chicago or Dallas or whatever, if you commit a crime in the doorway, you're not committing a crime in America. You are literally committing a crime in Italy, and you're subject to the laws of that nation because, again, the land that these buildings sit on are considered sovereign ground to the nation who holds the embassy. So that's why Julian Assange stayed inside the Ecuadorian embassy for years and years and years. They couldn't touch him. And then one day, Ecuador said, yeah, you know what? Screw that guy. Ecuador decided that they were no longer going to be in league with Julian Assange. I believe that there was an election, and I believe that somebody who didn't really care for Julian Assange and wanted to make friendly with the United States decided to kick him out. And at that moment, British police arrested him, and he's been held in jail in London, awaiting trial for whatever the hell was going on there. Today, Julian Assange, a court ruled in England that he can be extradited to the United States. So it's the very first in a multi-step process there, according to British law. He's now got appeals, as he would here in America. So it's not like he's going to be on a plane being brought back to Washington today. This is going to take a while, but it is a big step in the long-standing United States government effort to get Julian Assange in handcuffs. So that happened today, and that is why Julian Assange is trending. Also trending today, Kanye West. Kanye is trending. He had the big concert last night. We talked about it. Amazon put on a big concert with Drake and Kanye West. Everybody said the concert was great, but I wasn't going to watch it because it was a benefit for Larry Hoover. And anyone who knows who Larry Hoover is knows that this guy needs to rot in jail for the rest of his life. He's one of the truly pure criminals of the last 100 years of American crime, murder, and mayhem. And for some reason, crazy old Kanye West thinks that he needs to be let out of prison. Once again, Larry Hoover is the guy who unified all the gangs in Chicago and basically turned them into a massive power of horror. Arms dealing, drug dealing, murder in the streets, all of that stuff. This is what Larry Hoover, and Larry Hoover was arrested in 1972, I want to say, but he'd been running the Chicago Folk Nation, which is the conglomerate, the umbrella that oversees like hundreds of different gangs, Folk Nation. He was running this organization like a mob boss from prison for 20 years. And, it's not like he's repenting, although he did apparently find God. And, in the 1990s, he decided that he was going to turn a new leaf, but he was still controlling the gangs. I mean, that's been revealed that was all just a play to get some sort of compassionate time taken off of his sentence of 200 years. He's been sentenced to 200 years in prison. So for some reason, Kanye put on a concert last night trying to get him released. Never going to happen. I'm telling you, the people of Chicago, that ain't going to be a thing that's going to happen. Larry Hoover is never going to be allowed back out. He's in the Supermax prison because he's like one of these super, super dangerous guys. And for some reason, crazy old Kanye, who is by the moment turning into a huge piece of shit, seems to think that Larry Hoover needs to be released from jail, which is just absolute madness. And what's even crazier is that Amazon was backing this. Amazon streamed the concert live. Amazon, I mean, whatever. But that's not why Kanye is trending today. Kanye is trending today because apparently, and this is frightening, Kanye sent his publicist. Do you remember in Georgia, the election results and, all that stuff, overturn the Georgia election, blah, blah, blah. Well, there was this little old lady who was somehow singled out by the crazy QAnon people as being somebody who was doing cheating stuff, even though even the Republicans, even the conservative Republicans in Georgia were like, no, that's all made up. She didn't do anything. But the then outgoing president of the United States mentioned this woman by name, and said, no, she's one of the worst. She's like a black lady. She's like just a black lady election worker who the entire crazy far right wanted dead, right? So she was hiding in her house. She had to have just a terrible, terrible experience for her. So in the middle of all this, Kanye West sent his publicist. I'll read you the story. Weeks after the 2020 election, a Chicago publicist for hip-hop artist Kanye West traveled to the suburban home of Ruby Freeman, a frightened Georgia election worker who was facing death threats after being falsely accused by former President Donald Trump of manipulating votes. The publicist knocked on the door and offered to help. The visitor, her name, this publicist, Trevian Kuti, gave her name but didn't say who she worked for. She didn't mention West. She only said... she said she was sent by a high-profile individual whom she didn't identify to give Freeman an urgent message. Confess to Trump's voter fraud allegations or people would come to her home in 48 hours and she would go to jail. So this is what Kanye did. Kanye sent some crazy publicist down to this old lady's home in Georgia to threaten her. Freeman refused. The story shows how an associate of a music mogul pressured a 62-year-old temporary election worker at the center of a Trump conspiracy theory is based on previously unreported police recordings and reports. They've got tapes They've got this article. They're showing video, police body cam, because the woman called the police and said, there are these people on my porch who are claiming that they're helping me, but they're also issuing these threats that people were going to come to my house and kill me and kill my family and all that stuff. So the cops show up and there's body. Cootie, this is the representative for Kanye, did not respond to requests for comment. Her biography for her work at the Women's Global Initiative, a business networking group, identifies her as a member of the Young Black Leadership Council under President Donald Trump. It notes that in September of 2018, she was secured as publicist to Kanye West and now serves as West's Director of Operations. When Cootie knocked on Freeman's door on January 4th, Freeman called 911. By then, Freeman said she was wary of strangers. It goes on, and there's all kinds of just awful things that this representative of Kanye West did to this little old scared lady. Well, a little old. She's 62. She's just not that old. But you know what I'm saying? So fuck Kanye West. All right. Kanye West is a madman. He's trying to get Larry Hoover out of prison. He's strong-arming little old ladies with his publicity wing, posing as people there to help. He sent what I guess would be a friendly black face to this scared black woman on the auspice of granting advice. And really, it wasn't advice. It was a manipulation shrouded in a threat. If you don't do what I'm telling you now, honey, and I'm really sorry to say this, but people will be here within 48 hours to kill you and your family. So that's why Kanye West is trending. Nice guy, Kanye. Genius. Love his music. But it's getting harder and harder to separate the art from the artist with shit like this. Freaking Kanye West. All right, so we covered Ellen Page, we covered Kanye, we covered Julian Assange. Let's see, what else do we have here before we might get out of here a little bit earlier. Again, folks, I'm sorry. I'm feeling sick, and my kid is sick. I want to get off of here, and I want to call him, and maybe we'll watch some TV together. You can do that now with technology. We can both lay in bed sick, and we can watch the same thing. Let's see, what else do I have? Okay, so the Peloton thing, I talked about that. No spoilers. All right, let's see if there's anything new that's trending today that I may have missed. Let's see. We'll go through that. Also, probably not going to do a backstage thing today. Typically at the end of this show, when we play the theme song, I sign off, and then I spend about an hour, 20 minutes or so going through all of the, Ross, his music is good. His music is good. I love Kanye West's music. And sometimes, look, insane people, insanity manifests itself in some truly, truly beautiful works of art. And we're going to disagree on this, because I think that, and before he was even Kanye West, he was considered an absolutely brilliant and innovative producer of other people. I mean, that's how he became Kanye West, the performer, after being really, really strong in the studio. I cannot deny that Kanye has some chops when it comes to being a hip hop icon, but he's a terrible person. Good doesn't equate genius, though. Well, I mean, I appreciate the conversation we're having here, Ross, but isn't that really just an opinion? I mean, you're right. I mean, I'm calling him a genius. That is an opinion. You're calling him good. That is an opinion. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, and maybe we do throw around the word genius way too much. I think I'm calling him a genius in the music realm simply to justify the fact that he's batshit nuts in every other aspect of his life. And it's easier for me to understand how somebody can be batshit nuts and make some bangers, man. I mean, I'm sorry. I still like some of Kanye. Oh, by the way, this publicist, let's put it in perspective, the kind of people she rolls with. This publicist who he sent down there to Georgia to strong arm this little old lady, the publicist, her previous client in the music industry before jumping over to Kanye West, R. Kelly. She was the publicist who put out all the defenses of R. Kelly. So that's what we're dealing with in this bitch. Yikes. Some people, man, I don't know how they sleep at night. I really don't. All right, we'll just do Twitter because I don't want to mess around with Google. Cash App Friday is trending. I don't know what that's about. Actually, I do. People trying to get you to join or follow Cash App and then forward it. And they promise they're going to send you money. I've done this a million times. They never sent me money. Only you people send me money. And I'm so appreciative of that because the show runs on your kindness and your support. Santa chat is trending. I don't want to say anything about Mickey. With the passing of guitarist and singer-songwriter Michael Nesmith, many acknowledge that Mickey Dolenz is the last surviving member of the 1960s pop rock band, the Monkees. Really? Really? I guess I hadn't realized that. So Davy Jones died. I knew that. Peter Tork died. Yeah, I knew that. And Mike Nesmith died today. Okay. So Mickey Dolenz is the last monkey. All right. Mickey was my favorite monkey. Who didn't like Mickey, right? Mickey Dolenz, he was the funniest monkey. He seemed to have the best singing voice, but he was also the drummer. He had a whole Don Henley thing going on. Lavar Ball. Oh, that's fun. Lavar Ball is trending. Lavar Ball says LaMelo doesn't need advice from Michael Jordan when the last time he won a championship. Oh, God. Okay. When's the last time he won a championship? Okay. So, Lonzo Ball plays for my Bulls, and Lonzo is having a breakout season. Yeah, he was number 2 draft pick a few years ago. He got lost in the shuffle in L.A. as a rookie, as a young kid rookie, traded to New Orleans. Then they spent a little bit of time having the team built around him, and then they got Zion, and then so he kind of became expendable because they wanted to focus on what having a Zion would be like for that team. So the number 2 pick was again traded last year to the Chicago Bulls, and he is balling out, man. Lonzo Ball is balling out, and I can tell you as a Bulls fan, one of the big fears that we had was that, oh, God, are we going to have LaVar Ball hanging out now? And somehow the Chicago Bulls have put LaVar Ball in his place. LaVar Ball has not been an issue for the Chicago Bulls. He goes to games. He sits there. He's not acting like an idiot. He seems to be well behaved. So knock on wood, but also don't forget, Lonzo is balling out. So maybe he's got nothing to say because this kid is performing the way that he always said that he would. Now, the other ball kid, LaMelo, who's down there in Charlotte playing for Michael Jordan's team, he's playing really well too, LaMelo, but apparently now there's an issue. Michael Jordan tried to give LaMelo Ball advice, and let's see what this is all about. Because now I'm interested. Oh, man. LaVar Ball was just laying in the weeds, just waiting for a time to be an asshole again. LaVar Ball says LaMelo don't need advice from Michael Jordan. When's the last time he won a championship? Oh, stop it. I'm just going to vomit just reading this. I mean, I'm wearing my Jordan workout. I'm wearing my Jordan warm-up. See my 23? Jordan on the back. I'm wearing my Jordan workout with my Bulls undershirt. Bulls with the... Guys, this is my I'm going to climb right back in bed clothes. Typically, I try to put on a little something that looks decent when I'm on camera, but like I said, I'm sick. So let's see what LaVar Ball is getting into. Boy, oh boy. You know what Michael Jordan's going to do? Michael Jordan don't play. Michael Jordan does not have time for a LaVar Ball. LaVar Ball can in L.A., he got into it with Magic, and maybe Magic is a nicer guy. That is not Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is not a nice guy. Michael Jordan is a killer. 100% of the time in every aspect of his life. He is a killer. You are in a competition with him no matter what it is. If you're trying to get the last parking spot at the mall or the last can of soup at the store, Michael Jordan is going to compete with you and he will not let you win. It is a serious character flaw. However, if he's playing on your basketball team, it works out. We got 6 championships out of that madness. So LaVar Ball stepping to Michael Jordan, the owner of the team that his kid plays for, is not a smart move. And you know what Michael can do? Michael can just ban him. Michael will not hesitate to say, and that fool's never allowed anywhere near this complex. He is not. If he is, ban him, arrest him, shoot him on sight. That's the kind of shit. Now, Magic Johnson, when Lonzo was there with the Lakers, Magic Johnson put up with a lot of garbage, because Magic is a nice guy. Magic is a little bit different. Magic is a little bit more easygoing. That is not how Michael is. LaVar Ball certainly has a lot to be proud of when it comes to the careers of his kids. They're working how the careers of his kids are working in the basketball world. In the case of his son LaMelo, the 20-year-old has already established himself as one of the NBA's most exciting young players. By the way, a couple of weeks ago, the Bulls played the Hornets, and it was Lonzo against his brother LaMelo. That was so great. They would like trade off. Like they wouldn't even be on one another, but as soon as one of them got the ball, the other one would come up on. It was just so cool. It's like so great seeing two brothers just going at it, and they've been doing this together for decades in the backyard or in the driveway or whatever. It was really cool. In the case of his son LaMelo, the 20-year-old has already established himself as one of the NBA's most exciting young players. He's a rising star for the Charlotte Hornets, which means he gets to play for the organization that is owned by NBA legend Michael Jordan. However, the younger Ball apparently never goes to Jordan for advice. That's what the elder Ball claims. LaVar says, Father LaVar Ball says, when asked if he ever goes to Michael for advice, he responded, "Never!" Explanation point. What advice is he going to give him? Jesus, man. He's the owner of the team. And, in my opinion, the uncontested greatest all-around basketball player in the history of the sport, 6 championships, his team. I'm not getting into the LeBron versus Michael. I'm just not. LeBron is a team shopper. Michael stayed with one team. Michael won titles with Will Perdue as his... I'm not getting into it. How often does he seek out advice from Michael Jordan? LaVar was asked. Never, the elder Ball said. What advice he going to give him? You tell me what advice he going to give him. When the last time he won a championship? And the game has changed. What's he going to tell him now? The elder Ball has made a name for himself with his hot takes and wild opinions, so fans probably aren't too surprised to hear his comments about Jordan. As for the younger Ball, whether he's using Jordan as a resource or not, his career has gotten off to a fantastic start at the NBA level. After a strong year in his rookie campaign, he's showing even more signs of growth in his second season. I guess I didn't realize. Yeah, he's not a rookie. I thought he was a rookie, but okay, he's not. It's in his second year. The youngster is averaging 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. He's shooting 41% from the field, nice, and 39% from beyond the arc. I think big brother Lonzo is shooting like 40 from 3. Lonzo is just crazy from 3 this year. His Hornets are trying to reach the playoffs this season for the first time in several years. There has been no reply from Michael Jordan at this time. Well, I think the reply is going to be the next time LaVar tries to show up to watch one of his son's games and he can't get in the building, because that's the kind of shit that Michael will do. Michael don't care. Imagine you're Michael Jordan. I mean, most people have to manufacture confidence to walk through life. Most people have to look at themselves in the mirror and say, I'm good enough, I'm better. And then they go out and they face all the bullshit in the world. Michael Jordan doesn't have to do that. Michael Jordan walks into every room and he's Michael Jordan. It's a whole different stratosphere for someone to be in. You think that he's sweating LaVar Ball? But why poke the bear? I don't understand why LaVar Ball would poke the bear. How is this? Could this be a bad thing for LaMelo? Like now Michael's like, this kid's dad's an asshole. So how do I get back at the dad? Maybe I fuck with the kid a little bit. I don't know. All right, so LaVar Ball is trending. Like I said, he's been good in Chicago. He has been good. He has not acted up. But again, things seem to be going well for Lonzo with the Bulls, so maybe there's no reason to. Look at that. Jerome is still trending. People are shocked to learn that Jerry's full name is Jerome Jerry Mouse in the popular Tom and Jerry cartoons. How is that a thing? How is that something that we're talking about? I don't get it. I don't understand. The Supreme Court is trending. The Supreme Court leaves Texas 6-week abortion law in place. Yeah, there you go. All right, not going to touch that. Elliot Page seems to now be trending. I have not seen Ellen Page trending, so it looks like the people who want everyone murdered who call her still Ellen Page have won this round. Maybe they've murdered them all. Okay. Hey guys, that's gonna be about it. I appreciate you staying with me today. Been crazy truncated day. I'm worried about my kid. He sent me a couple of texts here over the last few minutes, so I want to get in deal with that. My kid is sick. I'm sick. Just I'm concerned about my son because he's got a fever and he was sent home from school, and that stuff ain't good. Me, this is all just allergies because of this crazy weather we've been having here. No show tonight, of course, because we don't do shows on Friday nights, but we will be back for a Pillow Talk edition on Sunday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do appreciate all you guys hanging out with us. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I guess that's going to be it. And not the same vibe today, right? May peace be with you every day. Not the same vibe last night either. I was starting to get sick, and I thought that I would feel better after sleeping for 12 hours. I slept for almost 12 hours last night. Whew. But I haven't taken any of my pills today, so maybe when I take my pills, I'll feel better. In every kind of way. Oh, and also, I still haven't been able to do this. If anything really big happens, like there's a big breaking news story where everything's hitting the fan and everybody's going to talk about it, I will do special jump-ins. So be subscribing to the channel there at pugscast.com, the YouTube page or the Facebook page, so you'll get the alerts. I'll things happen. If things happen, I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to start trying to do that more over the weekend because sometimes things happen over the weekend. I almost did it yesterday at like 4:30 with the Jussie Smollett decision. I was going to come on live and we were going to talk about that live as the verdict was being read, but I was feeling like garbage. So, but I will take my pills and maybe we'll try that. And those won't be long extended shows. Those will just be like, as long as they're happening and, as we're getting the details. Make good things coming. They could be really long, though. My boy Steve Lookner, who is a great person to follow if you watch the YouTube stuff, he does breaking news. He did 12 hours. He did 12 straight hours 1 week ago today. Amazing, this guy. He did 12 straight hours of live coverage of the manhunt for the Crumbly family. 12 hours. He started at like 1:45 in the afternoon when it was first revealed that the Crumblies were on the run, and he stayed on a stream covering the developments as they started to pile up. And then his stream went so long that YouTube apparently has a limit. You can only do 12-hour streams at a time. And so he had to get off. I mean, luckily it came to an end. They announced the press conference. The police did their press conference at like 2:00 in the morning, just, to announce that they had him in custody after he was doing it for 12 hours. And his stream went dead right as the press conference ended. It was perfect. 12 hours. My hero. Steve Lookner, agenda-free TV, non-political, just news coverage. This can be the start of something new. Roses and lace, they are meant for you. May all your... I'm looking at myself here. I look like absolute trash. It's going to be a good 2022 for me. I'm going to lose the weight. You've heard it before. Dreams be wonderful each and every night. And may you walk in righteousness and always do what's right. This can be the start of something new. Roses and lace, they are meant for you. May everyone be on your side at each and every turn, and may you have the smoothest ride, receive what you have earned. This can be the start of something new. Roses and lace, they are meant for you. May peace be with you every day, in every kind of way. May good things come into your life, to have a blessed day. This can be the start of something new. Roses and lace, they are meant for you. This can be the start of something new. Roses and lace, they are meant for you.